Hi guys, how's it going? So today is a video all about paddleboarding with young kids. So what I mean by that is when the child is still able to go on your board with you. So we've been paddleboarding for, 2.5 years now, and we've always been paddling with our kids. And when we first started, there was just very little out there, very little information, safety information, other information, just general of actually paddling with kids. So we sort of learnt along the way different things that work and things to be aware of and things to take with you, make sure you've got when you're paddling with young kids. So I just thought I'd share with you some of the things that we've picked up along the way. So one of the main things, and I think the most important thing really, is to make sure that your child can swim. So I want to know that if I come off my board or the board capsizes for some reason, that my child can get themselves to safety, basically swim themselves to safety. Yes, there might be an opportunity where I can try and grab them and take them to safety, but if I can't, I need to know that my child is a strong enough swimmer that they can get themselves to safety. So the next thing is obviously equipment, making sure you've got all the right equipment and it's in good working order. So this is quite a general one, but one especially to be aware of when you're paddling with kids. Making sure your craft, your paddleboard, is fit for purpose, making sure that it can take the weight of both of you as well. So before you go out and buy a paddleboard, just make sure you know what the weight is, the joint weight between you and your child that's going to be on that paddleboard, and then what the paddleboard will take as well. Next thing, repair kit as well, making sure you've got a paddleboard repair kit with you. And another thing that we didn't know at the time, but making sure you've got a valve tightener. So sometimes the valves on paddleboards can get a little bit loose, and then, this happened to us once, and by the time we got back, one of the paddleboards was a little bit, it wasn't as hard as it was when we set off, and we thought, what is going on? And it's actually, the valve wasn't tight enough, and it was just slowly leaking air as we were going along our paddleboard. So yeah, making sure that that valve is nicely tight before you obviously set off, before you actually pump it up and then set off. So the next thing obviously is suitable clothing. So a really big one when you're with kids. So it's no fun. If the kids are cold and wet, they're miserable, adults are miserable, it just makes for a really miserable experience. So in our experience, making sure they are wearing the right clothes. So if it's colder, wetsuit, wet shoes, maybe a waterproof jacket, maybe in the summer months a swimming costume, but a UV vest maybe to cover the arms to protect from the sun cream, that kind of thing. Which leads me on to the next point about clothes and making sure you've got a spare pair of dry clothes with you. So sometimes if you're going for a bit of a longer paddle, the kids have been in the water, they're getting a little bit cold. Just having that spare pair of clothes with you on the board so that they can change into if they need to as well. Because as I said before, cold, wet children, it's miserable. We don't want that. So to basically have your clothes on the board, you need to have a waterproof bag. So there's lots of ones out there. We got ours from Amazon, and just making sure that it's completely watertight. Ours you sort of roll up and then sort of clip, and it's a really great one. We've got two of them, one a bit bigger, one a bit smaller. So putting those spare pair of clothes inside that waterproof bag, and you know they're going to be dry. So the next thing is to make sure they are wearing a personal flotation device, or PFD, you might see it written down. So this is going to keep them buoyant, and I'd recommend that all children wear them at all times. So it doesn't matter if you're going on a very quiet lake, I would just always put them in there just for safety. So yeah, if they fall in the water, they'll be buoyant, and then hopefully they're a strong swimmer and they can swim themselves to safety as well. So the next thing is to make sure you've got a phone with you, a fully charged phone, and it's in a waterproof phone bag. So yeah, if you get into difficulties, you know that there's going to be a phone that you can use to ring somebody if need be. So we've got two different types of phone bags. We've got one that you can put around your neck, or we've got sort of a bum bag one as well. And again, they need to be completely waterproof to protect your phone. So a really great one for emergency purposes. And the next one is making sure you've got some sort of snack or drink with you, or both. So as we all know, kids are much happier when there is a snack stop in sight, when they know they're going to be stopping for a nice snack, and it just kind of re-energizes them and sort of breaks the journey up as well. So a lot of the time along the way, we'll have like a snack stop where we'll stop halfway, have a nice snack, have a drink. So yeah, a really, really great one. Have some snacks and drinks with you. So the next thing is to just maybe make sure that you've got a small first aid kit. So a lot of the times when we're paddling, the kids will put their hands in the water, or they'll want to touch stuff on the side, and they might get a little cut or a graze. And it's just making sure that you've got your first aid kit with you so that you can maybe put a plaster on if need be. So the next point is really one for preparation. So maybe planning the journey together, planning the route together, really get them involved, set expectations as well, say this is what it might be like, this is what we're going to do. So really get them involved so they know exactly what's going to happen on the route. So also making sure that you have planned stops along the way for your snacks and your drink, and just other things like, maybe stopping to pick some blackberries along the way. So one of the routes that we do along the River Soar, at the right time of year, there's loads of blackberry bushes that line the side of the river, and we go and we pick blackberries while we're on the board, which is really, really fun. But also just pointing out things in nature, getting them to listen out for animals, for birds. One time when we were paddling, we saw a grass snake that was just kind of slithering through the water, which was amazing for them to see. That so excited them to see that. Another one where we were actually paddling in the sea around the coast of Cornwall, and there were seals swimming with us at one point, and it was absolutely beautiful. And again, the kids loved that. That is such an amazing thing for the kids to experience. So the next thing, and it's not one that we did, but again a preparation thing, is to maybe take a lesson together. So there's lots of paddleboarding courses that you can do. It might just be a one-off, or it might be a set of lessons, so a course of lessons. Maybe to do one with your child might be a good idea. Which leads me on to the next point, which is let them have a go. So when they're on the board with you, let them have a go. Let them stand up, see what that's like, try and get their balance, and also try the paddling as well, and sort of just showing them how to do it and letting them get confident with paddling, so that then maybe when they reach that age where they can get their own board, they're big enough, that they're confident to then be on their own board on their own. So the next thing is let them have fun. So there's always a stop along the way on our paddles where we let them just go in the water, jump in. So if it's warm enough, it might be sort of halfway through the paddle, they can have a nice jump in, maybe when they're having a snack break. Just have a fun swim in the water. Or if it's a bit colder, we sometimes wait till the end of the paddle where we then let them go in the water. But they love just getting in the water and swimming. Let the kids have fun, adults have fun. If the kids are happy, adults are happy, and everybody has a good time. Alright guys, so I hope you found this video helpful, and hopefully maybe it's inspired you to try some paddleboarding with your child. Alright, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.